Welcome to Spirited Straight Talk, the ultimate podcast for anyone who is ready to live a life with intention and help from spirit. I am your host, Deb Shepard, spiritual teacher, medium, and author, helping you open up to the whole enchilada, or like we like to say, the soul enchilada, so you can truly make your soul rise. So let's go. Well, I'm here again with Dana. We're going to talk about how do you vibrate. And it kind of reminded me of Joey on Friends, when he comes in and, how are you today? What's that?
How you doing?
So we're going to talk about vibration today and what that means. And one of the things I have taught when I'm doing the work that I do, connecting to loved ones or your Akashic records or past lives, things like that, your guides, is I imagine a large grid over our planet. And that grid basically has different
You
energies.
imagine it or you feel this?
Well, when I first started doing it, it was like my imagination was giving me this information. But now doing it so long, I just go into it. It's when you're going on to your computer and you want to Google something, or you have an icon that you tap into, you just do it without thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it's...
So you connect without thinking, but
in the beginning,
tell us more about this grid so people can understand.
Yeah, think of when we imagine the World Wide Web, the information that we get downloaded and how our technology allows us to dig up information by typing in words or information to be able to get that.
Okay.
And I feel it's the same way when I connect with that web around the planet, that energy.
So there's a grid that overlays, a grid of energy that overlays over the planet, basically.
That's how I see it.
That's how you see it,
Yeah.
or that's how you feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And it means that everyone is connected to this grid in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all have these ideas that come to us and we wonder, where is this coming from? I have this great idea. But I think it's also based on, where your energy or your vibration is. So that's the difference between raising your vibration versus if you're in sadness and grief and guilt. And
Or
feel
just
like a victim.
existing.
Yeah, that I think it's more difficult to connect with that. Think of it of having a bad modem and you don't have good internet connection.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically is your energy is that way, or it's a high speed internet where, like for me, I can tap into things pretty quickly, but I don't do it all the time. I do it when I want to connect
When you
with
have
that
a client or
client
you need
or
to
yeah, for those
connect,
things.
yeah.
Otherwise,
meditation.
For those reasons. And so what I've seen to understand this is there might be a scientist or a healer or an inventor at different parts of the world, and they'll get the same idea at the same time. And it's been documented. And so I know that they're tapping into something because of where their energy is and where they're searching. And so they're able to download the information that's given to them.
So you say download, but as a metaphor, download, like it's the World Wide Web.
Right.
You use that as an example.
To use those
but
words.
It's kind of the same thing. It's like a web of energy that surrounds us in the universe then.
Yeah, and if we can go back to Albert Einstein, everything is energy. All energy is a vibration, down to our molecules and atoms and cells and everything. So anything, even an item that you don't think is living, has an energy vibration.
Right. Well,
everything does.
Everything is matter,
right,
and made up of atoms, or
mm-hmm.
It's made up of something.
So it all has
it
an
all
energy.
carries energy.
Yeah, it's all vibration.
Right.
So what we want to look at too is where your vibration is, and one of the things is we think about the chakra energies, and each chakra is aligned with a color and a vibration.
And a sound, right?
And a sound. Mm-hmm. And that sound can vibrate for that chakra, those energy centers, to help shift energy.
Which is why we have the singing bowls.
Correct.
So the singing bowls make a certain sound that aligns with each chakra, and each chakra has a color that also vibrates with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And those, we talked about in our last podcast about how many chakras we have. We usually just work with the 7. And if you're not familiar with chakras, it is those energy centers that you see, like when someone's doing yoga, or the picture that has a description of a body or a sketch of a body, and it has the red and the orange and the yellow, those colors. And each of those colors have a purpose and an energy for how you handle life.
A vibration and a sound.
Mm-hmm.
So there's even sounds related to each chakra that you can chant to help balance that chakra, right?
Right. And how many times have you been around somebody and you're going, wow, you're really sad?
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean they're sad all the time, but it is an energy vibration that we look at. And so what we want to do is have the highest vibration possible throughout our days in order to be able to connect with the planet, the universe, the people that we want to be aligned with. And as people know about the law of attraction, attract the energy and the things that we want in life. And to understand this, if you're an analytical person, which I'm not, if you put sand on a drum, a large drum, and you play a tuning fork, and no matter what tuning fork you play, the sand will vibrate to the vibration of the note, which is really cool.
So it creates a geometrical pattern, right?
Correct.
That will align with that particular note.
Mm-hmm.
So
which is really cool.
Is incredible.
So for people that think
we're going to have to do that,
and I people think I'm that woo-woo person or whatever, but part of it is that understanding that if you are a literal person, that there are things out there, there's science out there to prove how energy, sound, and vibration are all aligned and how we feel about things.
Okay.
So, just think about during the day, how do you feel? Do you feel happy and peaceful? Are you, just got that good energy and you're looking for the day? Or are you feeling that guilt and shame and,
because they're two completely different vibrations, right? So if you are trying to raise your vibration and you have that happiness factor, you're surrounded by that vibration.
Correct.
Even when difficult things happen,
Correct.
You're still surrounding yourself with that vibration, right?
This is the way you think and the way you process, the way you manage the things in your life, where other people may always feel like the victim or poor me or why is this happening? And it's being aware of how you respond to things. And when you respond to things as positively as possible, that energy then helps you resolve and solve things, and you're able to connect.
And you're also drawing
the positive energy,
more of that energy, because you have it already, right?
Mm-hmm. And you can look at this in a couple different ways. People that have worked hard to bring up their vibration, sometimes people with a lot of issues will seek you out to tell you things because they know you feel good, and you wonder why do they keep coming and tell me everything?
Right.
And it's understanding that they find
being around you feels good.
Yeah, and then you have to deal with that energy the way you need to. But if you're trying to connect with your guides, you're trying to receive love or an abundance, all those things that you desire, health, it's having that high vibration to be able to bring that in. Again, what are you listening to? What are you telling yourself? What is the music you're hearing? And we even talked about this a little bit about why do people gravitate toward different types of music? Mm-hmm. And I think it's a vibration that helps people feel a certain particular way.
Okay.
And,
so when I think about music, like we may like Motown, for example, because we listen to a lot of the old Motown music. So that's our vibration.
Correct.
Those Motown love songs. But then you think about, maybe a different generation that listens to heavy metal or, music that has that type of a beat. You're saying it's our internal vibration, our soul vibration that is attracting us to those particular sounds or those particular musical notes or styles.
And it could be if you put it this way, are you feeling that music enlightens you, supports you? Does it make you feel a particular way? What does that music do for you?
Something inside of us is resonating with that
it.
particular vibration.
And
in
if
that
you
music.
look at the sound or that vibration of that music, what chakra is it working on?
Oh, yeah.
So if it's a one that's maybe a very low, hard core type of music, is it your root chakra where you're feeling imbalanced? You don't feel like you have your power. You're not feeling as if you know what direction to go, or someone's taking the rug from underneath you and you feel vulnerable. So that type of sound,
That deep bass sound.
might be helping that root chakra find its ability to vibrate higher.
Wow. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So, and music has a lot of words, and words have vibrations as well. So some people really resonate with certain music, the words in it, because that word has a vibration as well. So what part of your body are you healing? What part of your body do you want to vibrate differently? Are you grieving? So a song and the words is making you cry or having you feel...
Release emotion.
Releasing emotion. So when you listen to these types of music, whatever it is, we can be very judgmental when you get older about rap and different types of music, but for a lot of people, those words resonate where their soul is going and the journey that they're on. And then you add the color to it. That other vibration.
So let's talk about the colors. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a client the other day that really feels as if she's not being heard. And she's done some work with me, and she feels as if, she's never been heard. She's got her voice that is always shut down, and she's always being corrected. And so I asked her about the color blue. I said, because that would be the throat chakra. Would you ever wear the color blue? And she just was absolutely adamant about not wearing that color. And I said, well, what's your experiences with that color? And her prior relationship, she was married. The man loved blue. They even had blue carpet in their house. And that really tells you, because who has blue carpet in their house, right?
No one.
But he was a person that shut her down, was critical of her, never gave her the power of her voice. All those things affected her on so many levels that, of course, she eventually got divorced. So for blue, it reminds her of that time period. However, the vibration, that color, still tells her she doesn't have a voice. It can't be heard. So it's how does she begin to change that vibration? Listening.
Because she has to address her throat chakra in order to have her voice. So she doesn't have to love the color, but
how does she shift that?
How does she shift that?
And that color can also, it's like when we hear a song and it takes us back to a sad place or a happy place. It's also that vibration and energy. But it's interesting that color was so hard for her to accept, but it also had to do with her throat chakra. So then it's that, okay, do we have a vibration? What are the things we can do to have her do those things?
So they're talking about sad songs, like sad songs having vibrations. When you say that, it does take me back to, there's a couple of songs that they hit the airwaves or happen to come on, and I have to change that channel immediately.
Absolutely. And it's because we don't want to go back to that vibration.
Yeah.
That was, we get through. So let's say it was a breakup of a relationship or something
Sinead
negative.
O'Connor's Nothing Compares to You. That song is the creepiest song ever made to me.
So let's say you heal through that time.
Yeah.
If you hear that song again, it sometimes will take you back to a lower vibration.
Yeah.
And that lower vibration is like, I worked too hard to climb up that mountain. I'm not going back to that
I don't want to hear that song again.
again.
But then other songs
Raise it.
lift you. Right.
Where you feel, those were joyful times, or they remind you of someone that you really cared about. And, even if you become emotional, it's okay because you're vibrating into that love that you had for that person, and it can bring that energy back into your soul.
Cool.
I know, isn't it cool? You really want to look at how to raise your vibration is looking at what you're attracting, what you're saying to yourself. So, for instance, if you don't want to watch the news and you don't want to listen to negativity and you don't want to be around people that are negative, what are you saying to yourself? And I have to be that person that doesn't say, oh, look, I've gained more weight, or boy, I'm getting old, or, we have that negative talk. And that talk is also a vibration. So even though we're thinking it, we may not be saying it out loud, that thought is still a vibration in our body that can affect the energy that we want to change.
Okay.
So if you want to vibrate at a higher frequency, and be able to attract the things you desire, to connect with that grid, all those things that you maybe desire or dream of. It really is about how are you living your life? What sounds are you listening to? What colors are you wearing? One of the things I had to be aware of a while back is I was really wearing a lot of black, and there's nothing wrong with black.
Oh, both of us are in black today.
Yeah. But also realizing that, is that the color of vibration I always want to have? Well, black is the feminine energy. So,
it is.
So that's okay.
Black is actually a culmination of every color.
Bringing together.
Mm-hmm.
But I also know when I wear certain colors, like a bright pink and beautiful blues and aquas, I get a lot more compliments because people see that energy and I feel different in it.
Mm-hmm.
So again, colors are a vibration. Sound is a vibration. Thoughts are a vibration. And all those combinations can help you either decide to go backwards in life and feel that low vibration and always feel like the victim and never part of a group. You're not listened to. Instead of saying, no, I want to be part of these things, what are you doing actively to shift? It's like going to a gym. Mm-hmm. It's that mental vibrational gym. What are you doing to bring up those muscles of your vibration?
Okay. So I would assume the first step is you want to be aware of where you are. Mm-hmm. So what are you vibrating out to the universe now? Because whatever you're vibrating out is most likely what you're getting back.
Correct. And, if I think about someone on stage or someone that is a musician or a singer or an actor, those people have to bring up their frequency on stage in order to get their audience.
You do that.
Thank you. But you have to bring that energy to it, to bring the energy of your, the people that are watching or there, to make them feel it. And that's how they do it. They have to bring that vibration up. And whatever you choose to do in life, it's how active are you in raising that consciousness, raising that vibration, paying attention to the things around you. And it's even your home environment. If your home doesn't vibrate, when people come into our house, they go, God, it feels so relaxing in here. Mm-hmm. And then your vehicle, too. If your vehicle isn't taken care of, how do you feel when you get into that vehicle and around the people? But we do have ideas of ways that you can begin to shift your vibration. Some simple things.
I like one of the things you talk about is that thinking of vibration as a radio frequency.
Yes.
And so as you evaluate where you are and what you're putting out, you talk about having a favorite station and you're driving along and all of a sudden, like we go up into the mountains and all of a sudden you can't hear that station anymore. It starts to get fuzzy and it goes out.
It's irritating. and that's it. If you, like for instance, someone the other day was like, how do I hear my loved one? And they're grieving and they're sad and there's guilt and things like that. That is the lower frequency of, you get to the mountains, you don't get to hear the radio station anymore. So the more that you raise that vibration, the more that you can connect with your guides and your loved ones and things like that. But it is exactly a frequency. And it's a sound. It's if you think about any kind of sounds out there, dogs barking, you hear a puppy making noise versus a dog barking. Mm-hmm. There's two different vibrations.
Yeah.
You hear a baby laugh versus a baby crying. Mm-hmm. All those things have a different vibration for us to respond to. Our cells and everything responds to that.
So like a radio frequency you want, in order to turn that up and get that clarity, you have to vibrate at a higher level or a higher vibration, which is more of a joyful, positive vibration.
Yeah, bringing it up. And of course, one of my best is, watching humor. But I think anything you can do to bring that joy and things like that are going to be critical. Mm-hmm. But there is some other things we can do that can be very simple too. And
so you have some ways that people can easily raise their energy, which also changes your vibration as you raise your energy with these simple ways. And I think, like, for me, sometimes I want to make it complicated. Like, but how? But how do you do that?
Yeah.
And it's so simple.
Well, for me, I'm like, well, I just kind of do it. And they go, well, what do you do? I'm like, okay, I got to think about how this works. And I think it's like when someone knows how to cook really well.
It's innate in
for
you.
me, yeah.
For you, you are so used to raising your vibration and then calming it down, because that's how you connect with the other side.
Right.
You have to go to that joyful, open level within a second.
Yeah. Unless it's my stuff, then it's different.
Yeah.
My stuff goes to different
You don't
place.
want to deal with your stuff.
So if you've never gotten acupuncture, some people, are like, oh my God, what does that mean? It really helps clear your meridians, your chakras. And again, it's something that should be done or could be done, or you may want to get done on a regular basis, because it does go into that energy vibration. I know when I've had it done, I've even popped out the needles because it's it's
so
vibrating.
It can quickly change your vibration.
Yeah, and relax you and things like that. So, and of course, acupuncture's been around again for thousands of years, and they've used it.
It's ancient,
It's ancient, so it does work. And again, it's having someone take care of you, and you have to be in the moment and relaxing. So that's another.
You can't move.
You can't move.
You can't look at your phone.
You can't look at your phone, even if you're on your back. Listen to healing sounds, and we have several things that we have a gong. We have singing bowls, of course, meditation music, listening
You
to...
have actually on your blog page on your website, you have a blog about chakras that has your singing bowl meditation attached to it. So people can grab that singing bowl meditation there.
So just
as well.
If anyone listens to that, when I was making it, the vibration of these bowls, I was in a sound room, recording studio, and it blew up $100,000 piece of equipment because of the vibration. Yeah, I didn't have to pay for it, thank goodness. But yeah, that's how intense these vibrations are. And I think it's only 5 minutes per chakra, so it's not really long, but it can really help, again, shift your chakras.
So healing sounds can also be the sound of rain. You can, if you have an Alexa, I hope I didn't turn her on. But you can listen to the sound of rain or the ocean.
Mm-hmm. What calms you? Birds?
No. Some people like the sounds of thunderstorms.
Mm-hmm.
I don't enjoy thunderstorms, but
some people do.
Some people do. A light rain, for me. So it can be like any sort of sound.
Whatever resonates with you. I know some people play flutes and things like that, and they're really beautiful. Or Native American flutes and drums. And drums are in every part of the world, drums and rattles. And the drum is your heartbeat, and it's also the sound of the heartbeat of the planet Earth. So...
Talking about the grid.
The grid, connecting with that. So if your heart is hurting, buy a drum, borrow a friend's, whatever you can do, and play that drum, and that's a great meditation. It helps heal the heart chakra and connects you to Mother Earth at the same time.
Okay. People
can attend sound baths now that we're out of the pandemic pretty much. I've done sound baths, and basically I take my gong and I play it at different vibrations. Gong bath for 40 minutes, and people just travel far away, and it goes through. A lot of people lay down, and sometimes they do their head down to their feet, and
because if you have the gong, I've done this with you, but as you're playing the gong, having people lay with their head towards the gong and their feet out the other direction, it bathes you.
Yes,
it goes over your body as a wave.
It is. It's really cool.
It's very, very cool.
My arm is sore at the end, but I really love doing it. Play an instrument, and it could be the drum, it could be a flute, it could be, anything that brings joy, and you don't have to play it well. It's just having that experience with an instrument for vibration. Of course, I always say laugh out loud. That's always going to be my go-to when I'm feeling like my vibration is low.
Mm-hmm.
I think too, when we get into that low vibration of energy, it's reminding ourselves with what gratitude, how are we blessed, and writing a list of gratitude. And even if it's every other day that you're writing the same list or an additional list, or look around you.
People, I feel like people preach that a lot, like gratitude, 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 write a gratitude list. But I think that your point in saying realize what you're grateful for is that can instantly change your vibration just by taking a look at just one thing that you're grateful for.
Anger and frustration is a human experience. It's not wrong to have those experiences and have that vibration. But if you feel like you're always in that vibration of being angry, it's how do you begin to shift that energy vibration? Mm-hmm. And our human side will have sadness and anger and guilt, but it's how long do you want to stay in that place? And it's okay to honor it. And the gratitude list doesn't mean, oh, I'm so blessed that I have this and this, especially if someone's lost a child or they've been through a hard time. What it means is, what is there to benefit from? Where's the silver lining? And even if it's, you know what, I woke up today and the sun was shining.
And that's your gratitude.
That's your
gratitude for
that's
today.
That's it. Yeah, it doesn't have to be anything other than very simplistic to get yourself started. And you're right, I think it's overly done. Like, oh, look at your blessings. Doing what I do, some people have gone through such hardships. It would really be hard for me to tell them, oh, go figure out what you're blessed about. Instead, just say, every day, think of one thing that makes you feel better. Just one thing, like, I really love the smell of my coffee this morning. Or I really love that my dog licked me on the face. It could be very simple things.
Right.
And if it's just one a day, that's improvement. That's it. Celebrate you. Celebrate your loved ones. And I think sometimes we forget what we've been through in life, and we forget to say, wow, I've really done so much in my life. I'm in gratitude for that. And celebrate this. I mean, you and I have been through things in life, and we're good here, but we're always on that ongoing list of trying to, improve our lives and have goals and things like that. And there's going to be those tough days. But I think when you go and just celebrate, like, wow, today, you know what? I got through a lot. You and I, we walked 5,000 steps this morning. That's a place to celebrate yourself, because there's some days for me that I don't want to go do that. And it's reminding yourself that each day is a day to celebrate the steps you're taking.
And be proud of yourself.
Yeah. And I think we forget that, it's not that you're narcissistic or that you're better than somebody else. It's at the fact that you're trying every single day. So the best thing is figure out what you want to do to raise that consciousness, that vibration, that energy.
Pick one thing.
And I promise you, by doing this and doing it for 20 days, you will see a difference in your life.
20 days.
20 days.
That's it.
20 days of changing, increasing your vibration. Okay?
I love it.
Let's go increase our vibration, Dana. All right. Thanks again for joining us on Spirited Straight Talk.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Spirited Straight Talk. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you subscribe so that you get notified of new shows. We'd also love it if you'd leave us a review. And let's connect. Visit debshepard.com for more insights, support, workshops, and to book a session with Deb. Plus, enter to get a free reading with Deb. All you have to do is sign up for the email list and you'll automatically be entered. Just go to debshepard.com. That's DEBSHEPPARD.com.